Before we start the final story, let's go somewhere familiar. And yes, I know I spelled familiar wrong.
I didn't even notice that you spelled familiar wrong.
Yep. Again, this was 3 years ago, so yeah. But anyway, we're in Green Hill Zone, baby. It's
Are
green.
you playing with Shadow? Is
Ac-
he a playable character in Green Hill Zone, or is it just a mod?
it's action replay, hey hack.
Okay, that's cool.
Cause hey, Green Hill, Green Hill Zone may be my favorite Sonic level, but Shadow's my favorite character, so of course I want to do it as the ultimate.
Of course. Oh my god.
Yeah, I really like this stage because it's literally just a 3D version of the first act of Green Hill Zone from the original Sonic 1.
I think it's really cool because like it's not like an actual level. Like it's here as a cute little Easter egg if you do what you need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think that those requirements are, again, a little stingy. A rank.
Of course. I still think that as a bonus stage instead of a main stage is great. I would
Uh,
prefer it being a bonus stage over an actual stage in the game.
of course, it should be a bonus stage because
Mm-hmm.
this game was released for the 10th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog. And how about
Yep.
how about that remix? I really love this remix of Green Hill's theme.
Yeah, it's good.
Really good. I don't think it's quite as good as the one from Sonic Generations and what's it called, Sonic Mania as well, but this is still a really good remix.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like it a lot.
I love it. Oh
Mm.
yeah, this level was the first time I've ever seen Sonic Adventure 2 in action, and I had no idea this was a bonus level. I just thought it was cool how Green Hill is in a modern Sonic game. That's awesome, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
And of course, I get the stylish A rank.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And Shadow is still the coolest. Anyway, for real this time, here we are, the last story. This is the story that you get for beating both the hero story and the dark story.
Mm-hmm.
And it picks up. It actually picks up from when the dark story ended off, not so much the hero story. I mean, it technically picks up from when the hero story left off, but the first thing we see is actually from the dark story perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So we see that something has gone wrong, and Eggman has found uh, a bit of history from his grandfather, Gerald Robotnik.
Yep. Oh, let's see.
Sonic and Knuckles. Is that vibration? Hey, wait, someone is coming. Oh, well, well, look who it is.
It's the girl.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Rouge. I'm really glad that I kind of started to warm up to her as the years passed because she's actually a really good character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she really is.
I'm also starting to appreciate Lady Manila's performance a little more.
I love it. She did so good.
She really did. But anyway, now comes one of the big major plot points in Sonic Adventure 2. Basically, so as we saw, we have been introduced to Gerald Robotnik, the grandfather of Dr. Eggman, and and we basically see the story on basically what's happening. So basically, Maria, that one girl that Shadow kept mentioning, is actually Gerald's granddaughter, and she was killed when the gun basically raided the Ark and killed everyone and whatnot. So, and Gerald was driven to insanity, and he decides to take revenge. But oh boy, out of all these parts in the story, this was when I apparently started to see the most plot holes. Mostly because of some call me Johnny Drew, because he brought up not one, not two, not three, but 5 points against it.
Oh?
For example, he said, okay, 1. Why did Gunn record this death threat, and how is it uploaded in the Ark? 2. If Gunn knew the Ark could be used as a means to destroy the planet, why haven't they destroyed this son of a bitch? It's been 50 years. Like, those are 2 examples he brought up.
Okay, well, I'll be sure to address them now.
Okay.
The first one is, they probably were recording this whole scene here. Just kind of looking at it from just a story perspective, I could imagine purposes. Now, I don't know how that documentation was accessed, but they probably were doing it just like I don't really know a whole lot about how things go with like when when someone goes to jail or anything, but I'd imagine there's probably heavy documentation, and this
Hmm.
would probably be one of those things because this isn't just a threat video. This is his execution.
Hmm.
So they probably were documenting it for that point. And then secondly, they probably thought his threat was empty because he literally had nothing. They took everything, literally. So they probably thought, okay, whatever, he's just crazy. Because
Yeah.
like that's what they real that is what they thought of him like the whole time. That's
Okay.
why they went and raided the Ark in the first place because they thought whatever was going up there was really dicey. So they didn't take him seriously as a scientist at
Yeah.
all.
But why didn't they destroy the Ark if they knew that it could, destroy the planet with the Eclipse cannon and whatnot?
That I don't think they actually knew.
Hmm. Really?
Yeah, that I don't think they actually knew. Otherwise, if they knew that, then why would that information like not be out there? It's not.
Hmm. Okay. Anyway, moving on to his points. 3. The game
Mhm.
tells us that Gerald was a scientist who dedicated his life and research for the benefit of mankind. If that's the case, then why would he program the Ark to crash land into the planet when all 7 Chaos Emeralds are placed inside the cannon in the first place? Did he program this function before or after Maria's death?
Um, that I don't know. I think he actually explained that he did it after the death, I believe.
Hmm. Okay. 4. If the military funded all of Gerald's research, including the weapons, why suddenly decide to pull the plug and kill everyone aboard the Ark? Who was the person responsible for ordering such an attack? The game never explains it.
Well, Sonic X does.
Yeah,
Sonic X
that's
explains.
that's not exactly the best excuse though, because this came out before Sonic X, and we
I
don't know
mean, sure, but it's also not necessarily that important of information, to be fair.
his
The
Sonic.
point is they did it.
Well, I don't think that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that Sonic X, at least the adventure arcs anyway. I don't think that they're canon.
Well, I think the only reason they provided that additional information is just in case people had those questions, but it
Hmm.
doesn't mean it makes this a plot hole though. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
just because the information isn't there doesn't mean there's really a plot hole technically. Like I understand like regarding like if it was funded, like that doesn't make too much sense, right? But I think
Hmm.
what they had explained before was that they did fund it, but then I think there was like a rumor getting around that there was something actually really bad going on. So they raided the Ark because they had heard rumors that the research was taking like a dark turn and that they were actually going to like harm everybody. So that's why they thought that it was okay to raid it. So while originally they had funded it because they thought it was for good, for whatever reason, a rumor had gotten out that it was actually not for good, and they retaliated pretty much.
Okay. And
You know
finally,
what I mean?
yeah, I think so. Sorry if I might
Mhm.
have. Sorry if I tuned out by accident. I am a little
It's okay.
distracted. But hey, this is still recorded anyway, so I can always think about this later.
Yep.
But anyway, moving on. This was Johnny's last point. He wrote, 5. It's implied that Gerald reprogrammed Shadow's mind to carry out the mission and destroy Earth after breaking down from Maria's death. And while that would explain why Shadow jumped into the whole revenge conclusion, when did Gerald get a chance to do that? From what I've got with the story, I always thought that Gerald was immediately taken away from the Ark during the night of the raid, and immediately placed in a jail cell where he could do no more research and development. And if that's true, then that would mean that he did program the Ark to crash into the Earth before Maria's death. And oh, my head hurts. and and then
Uh,
and then he's like, the more I try to understand this, the more it falls apart. Am I missing something? I used to think this story was good, but it seems that the older I get, the more I start noticing the little plot holes, and it bothers the hell out of me. That's what he said in his review.
so
And
I
again,
see. So
yeah.
well, I don't believe it wasn't it wasn't programmed originally. It was something that was reprogrammed later on. Something that a lot of people I think seem to forget is that Shadow also remember Shadow had gotten away, right?
Okay.
So he was also on Earth with Gerald Robotnik. So I believe
Okay, maybe that could explain it,
so
but
the opportunity to reprogram him was still available.
okay, it's just that hmm. It's just that it happened. If that actually happened, then it's off screen. We never saw it happen. Not even in Sonic X, oddly enough.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen it in Sonic X. That would have been really interesting to see.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry for our little tangent, or my little tangent rather. Also,
It's okay.
also that review I was mentioning was actually 8 years ago, so if that's outdated, I apologize, viewers. But anyway, now we're in the final level, Cannon's Core. Now this level is completely unique, in which as you proceed through the level, you actually switch to different characters. Like for example, we just cleared the part of the level with Tails, but now we're doing Eggman's portion of the level. And something weird about this level I've actually noticed is
Mhm.
unlike all the other levels, dying does not reset your score back to 0. It just resets back from the previous checkpoint at the beginning from when you started the level as that one character.
Yeah, that is nice.
It is nice, and a part of me kind of wishes it was like that for the entirety of the game instead of having to do it perfectly in one run. But it's not that. But then again, probably not too big of a deal. It's just since
To be fair, it would
sorry, go ahead.
probably be really. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was gonna say, to be fair, it probably would make getting A rings a little too easy.
That is true. But then again, and plus to be fair, a lot of the main levels are pretty short anyway, while this
Mhm.
level is a lot longer. In
I
fact,
think
sorry, go
that
ahead.
there should, yeah, no, no, no. I was actually going off of what you're saying, though. I think there should be an exception to really long levels.
Hmm.
So I kind of had, I had wished that like the later space stages would have made the exception, because it was very frustrating going into like, what is it like, what in the heck is it called? The Tails one.
Yeah.
What's the Tails stage again?
Uh,
Like the
uh,
big
oh,
one?
oh, Eternal Engine.
Yep, thank you. Yep. It was very frustrating going into Eternal Engine, and then if I died later in that stage, I had no points, like,
And you have to
because
restart if you wanted to get the A
mm,
rank.
yeah, because I mean, Eternal Engine is certainly not City Escape. If I fail in City
Hmm.
Escape, then like, who cares if I start over? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Eternal Engine, if I have to start over, it's like, oh man.
Or worse, Cosmic Wall.
Yep.
Because Cosmic Wall is even longer than Eternal Engine.
Mhm.
In fact, Cosmic Wall, oh, I forgot to mention this back in part 17, but Cosmic Wall is easily the longest level in the entire game. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Cannon's Core does come very close, though.
yeah. It's
Hmm.
okay. Come
It's okay, I'm gonna
on.
make it. But Cannon's Core, I think it's a pretty good final level for the most part. Honestly, I think the most annoying part of the level is predictably the Tails and Eggmans and parts because of, again, the jumping controls. But I think the rest of the level is actually pretty good. While the shooting parts, it's not really bad, it's just alright.
Oh
I say that as I fall, but it's okay,
no! You
I'll just
gotta.
get back up. Yeah, you basically have to time your jumps here with stopping the timer, like with that
There you
switch,
go.
in order to
Yep.
get there. So yeah.
What I normally do is I pay attention to whichever block goes up, and then I'll actually like time it and like jump on the block, and then it'll like as it lifts up, I'll be on top of the block, and then I just jump off.
There you go.
Mhm.
But
All
and
right. Oh, hey, we did it.
yep, that was part 19. Yeah, the level's actually kind of long, and plus there was also those. In fact, I think the first half of this part was actually just cutscenes. So that's another reason why this was split into and why this level was split into two parts. So
Mhm.
so we'll see you all in part 20, where we finish up the level and see more of Shadow's motivation.
Woohoo! See you then.
Yeah.